Hello there. Welcome back to EBM in 5. In this video, I want to look at the question that we have for past exam paper. That's our question 3 on the exam on the past exam paper that we have. So the question reads a study scenario below and answer the questions. We are given a scenario that we are given here, which reads pricing, quality, and availability of stock on demand are very important to the management of the Lefalala livestock enterprise in the Northern Free State. Various suppliers have shown interest in supplying stock to the enterprise. So 3.1 reads that the process of identifying a suitable supplier could be done after conducting a supplier analysis through identifying all possible sources, collecting information, and other influencing factors. So next paragraph we're given, as a student of business management or financial management, you are requested to assist the owners of Lefana livestock in selecting suitable suppliers of livestock feed. So the question now is name 6 factors to consider when selecting suppliers. So obviously we got there. What's important is take note of the requirements of the question. So our question requires us to name 6 factors and which we should consider when selecting suppliers. And we see that our question has got 12 marks. And obviously, on the allocation of the marks, it means that we have to raise 6 points, each one with 2 marks. So this is what we saw. According to this video, we're going to look at 3.1. So we are going to see that suppliers, when we are choosing suppliers in business, we should take many factors into consideration to identify a suitable supplier according to our business. So you see that we should also take into consideration the issue of quality of the product that we are buying from that supplier, be it the inputs or raw materials, or they might be finished goods that we are buying. Maybe we're a retail outlet, we are buying and selling. So those finished goods that we are buying also should take into consideration where are we buying them from due to many reasons. So we are going to list those factors that we should take into consideration. So you see that this is our 3.1, and we're saying the first factor that we should take into consideration is quality. So on quality, we are saying all suppliers of services and products should meet or even exceed the minimum quality standards that we require as a business. So what we are buying, if there are inputs, we are saying we should buy quality inputs that meet our standards of the product that we want to produce. If we are buying and selling the retail outlet, we are saying requirements of what the customer or customers wants, so that we can meet the needs of the customers. Is the quality that we are paying for supplier up to standard? Is the question. So that is what we have on quality. So basically, we are saying the quality should be taken into consideration so that we meet the requirements of our business in particular. So this is what we want the first point. Then we can move on to the second point that we can take into consideration is the pricing structure. So here we're talking about the pricing structure of the supplier. So remember, when we are buying from the supplier, the price that we are going to buy from the supplier is going to determine if we are producing, if it's a raw material or an input, it's going to determine the price of the final product. So we are saying if you buy at a higher price, it means also the final product is also going to have a higher price, and it's going to be expensive to our customers. So we should take into consideration that, because we should not buy very expensive products if they are inputs, because they're going to affect our price. If our prices go up, it's going to lead to a decrease in quantity. But remember, the law of demand says if the price increases, we're going to see a decrease in the quantity demand. There is an inverse relationship or negative relationship that exists between the two variables, that is the price and the quantity that is being demanded. So that's what we have on the pricing structure. So you see that the price of raw materials, if the raw materials may have an effect on the finished goods and services. That is a higher price, might mean a higher final price. So we should take into consideration that. So on the next point, we can also take into consideration the credit policy. So on the credit policy, we are talking about the issue of paying back what we have bought. So remember, when we are buying on credit, there should be a credit term in terms of after how long should we pay that amount that we are owing? You see that these credit policy can vary depending on different business. So the supplier that we are identifying and trying to buy from, we should take note that how long do they require us to pay back their money? Remember, it depends with our cash inflows. If the period doesn't match our cash inflows, because from our cash inflows, that's where we're going to get the money to pay our amount that is owing. So if our cash inflows are not matching their credit term, it means we should not engage with that supplier, because if we delay our payments, it's going to attract some interests, which is going to be very costly to the business. So that is a factor that has to be taken into consideration. So we'll move on to the next factor that we can also take into consideration is terms of payment, which is now our number 4. So on terms of payments, we are saying let's look at the method of payment that the supplier requires when we are now paying them the amount that we are owing them. Remember, there are different methods of payment that can be there. The business that we are buying from might require us to pay on a cash, using cash, be it a bank transfer. So those are some of the factors that we should take into consideration. And remember, we might be operating a small business that is starting to operate. Maybe there's no a viable bank account that is there in operation. So we cannot be able to do some bank transfers. Maybe the supplier needs us to make that payment. So it's something that we should inquire before we engage with the supplier. And then some might only need cash payments, which is a very risk for us to go with cash to pay high amounts of that high amount, which might be costly also to us as we try to hire security companies so that they escort us when we are now making our payments. So those are some of the factors that we can also take into consideration. Then we could on the 5th one, we can have services. So services, we are looking at the services that are being provided by the supplier, the efficiency of the suppliers. We are talking about are they going to deliver the product on time? Are they not going to make some delays? Which if we are producing and maybe we order some products and the supplier is going to take time to deliver those products, it's going to lead to some bottlenecks whereby we are going to have some delays in the production process, and it's going to make us lose some outputs there that we're supposed to produce during the period. So we are saying how efficient is the supplier is something which is also very significant that we should take into consideration before we engage with a supplier. So this is what we have in terms of the services. Then lastly, we have got delivery, which is number 6. So on delivery, we are talking about the ability to deliver large or small quantities. Is the business that we want to engage as our supplier, does it have the capacity to produce and deliver those products that we require from them? Maybe we need inputs or be it raw materials in large quantities, but they cannot meet those standards. So in that way, we cannot engage with that kind of a supplier, because obviously they are going to undersupply us with what we need, and it's also going to affect our output, which also obviously is going to have a negative effect on the profit margins, because obviously we are going to push out our lower volumes as we are being affected by smaller quantities coming from our suppliers. So this is on the delivery part. And also on the delivery part, we can also talk about, are they going to deliver those products, or be it those goods at a very short period of time, at a short notice? If we require our products, maybe we are saying we ordered some products and say we need them maybe within a period of 7 days, or be it 14 days, within a short period of time, are they going to do that and deliver us with the product? Maybe we are doing a kind of business that we can make short notices which they cannot meet them as suppliers. So in that way, we are saying we cannot engage with that kind of a supplier. So those are the factors that we can take into consideration when we are trying to choose a supplier. So hopefully this video was helpful. Let's subscribe and share. Let's share the link to our colleagues who are doing EBM N5. Let's meet you again in the next video. As for this video, I'm signing out.